Anthony Adebayo. We off the record.
With you there, but if you're a coach, do you take that chance?
Yes.
You can reach us at the Off the Record Show at gmail.com. Anthony Adebayo and the most accurate sports coverage. Scotty B's Fantasy 5.
We're different from any other sport.
His sophomore year. Comes back and says, you know what?
And your boy, Scotty B. We off the record. We off the record.
What's good? So we here. Episode 301.
On the homeboy's birthday, man. Happy birthday, man. Happy born day.
Appreciate that.
Now, look, I ain't in no condition to sing happy birthday to you. Maybe we'll play the audio Stevie Wonder, or we'll get something going on.
We ain't got
I know tonight during the battle that we'll see happy birthday. We'll reserve all that for that. So what's up, man? How's everything been?
Man, so I mean, last week, the 300th episode aired. And I know that some people was wondering why we didn't talk about the Olympics and everything. Well, we will celebrate, right? So it is what it is. But I enjoyed the Olympics. But before that, it's just been good, man. Football season is gearing back. High school, as y'all can see, Wakefield Warriors. We definitely gonna make some noise this year. I'm excited, man, and it's so much to talk. So it's like I want to recap the Olympics because I feel like we have to, right? I feel like we have to. We can't do it a disservice. And even after the Olympics, there's so many storylines with some of the basketball. Noah Lyles versus Tyreek Hill. We're gonna get into all of that. And so, how you been though?
I've been good, man. Like you said, coming off the high of watching the Olympics, like you said, man, it couldn't have been a better Olympics. I don't know if I was a little bit more engaged in this Olympics that made it good. Like you said, just, baseball was winding down. You got football that's coming up. A lot of people saying crazy stuff. We'll get into all that. So where do you want to start?
I want to start with the Olympics. I want to. We could recap because my thought was like I could do a whole episode on the Olympics. We could do a whole it's so much we could talk about with from Sha'Carri to the 4x1 killing it, the 4x4, the men's 4x1 not being able to get right for the millionth year in a row. It's but I really want to start with USA basketball, men's and women's. I thought by far that the men's game was amazing. I thought that was one of the best games of the tournament. But then to follow the very next day with the women's game was even better. The championship game, I was like, man, this is amazing to watch. I'd rather watch those games than 50-point blowouts. Those are not entertaining to me to watch.
So I put it like this. Normally, I don't want to watch a 50-point game blowout, but when I'm looking at my team, I don't mind if my team is blowing out another team. So, in this case, of course, I'm rooting for the U.S.
Absolutely.
I didn't want them, they made that a little bit too close to comfort.
You were stressed out.
If it wasn't for Steph Curry, Steph Curry came through in the clutch.
Yeah.
Look, it used to be just a walk in the park for the U.S. to just show up.
Right.
I think a lot of people had to acknowledge a long time ago the rest of the world is catching up as far as basketball.
Yeah.
But when you start to look at these other teams and you start to look at the stars on these other teams that play in the NBA, you're like, hold on. Yeah, these aren't just Manu Ginobili or
right. Yeah.
Mark Gasol.
You got MVPs.
Right.
And they're like again, Giannis, Serbia lost by what 26, 28 the first time we played them, and I mean they had a 17-point lead. And so here's the thing, I like the dramatics, I like all of those things, but nah, yo, I ain't want to. I mean, I liked it. The game was good, and they came back. They did win the game. Steph went berserk. But so did LeBron. Like that Serbia game, they needed LeBron, Steph, and KD. It wasn't just Steph, because I mean, you had guys that normally don't play defense like that in the NBA, like locked in.
So let me ask you, because we got to circle back to this topic. All right, so Dream Team, we said 1996 Dream Team. That was one of the ones that we had kind of like settled on. That was really good. The Redeem Team, I think we had talked about that, the 2018. You got this team. Do you think that this team belongs in the same category or stratosphere as those teams?
You want me to
I'm not going to say even better. I'm just going to say, do we put this team right there with those teams?
Absolutely. After this is out of all the teams, including the Dream Team, this is probably, just from a talent standpoint, probably the most talented team the United States has had that I can recall. I mean, most people are going to say the Dream Team, but I think talent-wise, this team is probably, if not just, probably better.
So I agree with you in this sense, right? I feel like the Dream Team, which I consider the greatest team ever assembled, was more. It was like the greatest team if you took their resumes, right? So you had Bird and you had Magic. It wasn't really quite at their best, but it was because it was toward the end of their career.
Right. Yep.
It wasn't them in their prime. Same thing with Jordan. It was him ascending. Like he was going into his prime.
Correct.
But a lot of other players, we could argue Barkley was probably going into his prime. I'm trying to think.
I want to say Barkley won the MVP the very next
season. Yeah, the next year.
Yeah, and he beat out Jordan.
Right.
So, I mean, here's the thing. I think what we have to keep in mind is that Dream Team, all the teams they played against 5 guys that were in the NBA.
Right.
And if I can't remember if that's including Kukoc or not. I don't, because Kukoc wasn't in the NBA yet.
Right.
He was getting ready to go to
the NBA. He wasn't in the NBA.
Yeah, he was getting ready to go to the NBA. But they played against 5 NBA guys. This team here, I guess they call it the Avengers. They're the Avengers. They went against over 50 NBA guys. So that's a huge difference, and that changes things.
Yeah, because to your point, and I guess we got to say it right, there was MVPs.
Yeah.
On the other team between Giannis, the Joker. I mean, Shai Gilgeous, Alexander. I mean, he wasn't MVP, but he's right there.
He was like second. So I mean, yeah, it's the competition is harder. So naturally, here's the thing: if in '92 they had 50 some odd Olympians for other countries, it wouldn't. Those games wouldn't have been all 50, 40-point blowout games.
Right.
Like, but if this team played against the competition that the Dream Team played, it would be the same thing. So I feel like those guys did play lesser competition, but it's almost like you got to grade it on the curve, right?
Yeah, I guess there's some things to like put into perspective. I mean, you look at this team, I don't think you'll have 11 Hall of Famers on that team when it's all said and done.
On which team?
This last team that just played.
Well, who won't be 11? Who? How?
You think
every single one of those guys that's on that team is going to be in the Hall of Fame. Every single player that was on that was on this Olympic team is going to the Hall of Fame.
You think Derek White is going to the Hall of Fame? I'm just asking. Yeah, just
So hear me out. Hear me out here, right? Now I gotta Derek White is, so what year is Derek White in? And then I get, because he I think, was he 5 years in the league?
Yeah, I'm just gonna listen. I want to listen. Yeah, I'm gonna listen to where.
All right. He's 2-time all defensive, right? And so he's going into year 30. Yeah, it's still time. So he's 2-time all defensive NBA. He has he's an NBA champion now. Possibly could get multiple championships with this Boston Celtics. And let's not act like this Celtics. I mean, they would have had 4 guys on their team. So we'll see. Because his trajectory is not Hall of Fame. I'm telling you that right now. His trajectory is not Hall of Fame. But anything could happen. Because what if he goes on a run the next 2 or 3 years? Because again, when we see guys playing in the Olympics, they tend to trend upwards.
Okay.
So who's to say? Now he's on a loaded team, right? But who's to say he don't average 20 and 10 the next 3 or 4 years? He averaged 20 and 10 the next 3 or 4 years and win championships the next 3 or 4 years. That changes things. You're a multi-time champion, and you're because he's clearly an intricate part of the team. So who's to say he's not Manu Ginobili? Yeah, he averages more points than Manu Ginobili for his career already.
Okay, so I'll give you that. We'll have to wait and see. But if I was a betting man, I'm going to bet that Derek White's not going to be in the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
I think that he's going to have a pretty good career, and I like him as a player, but I would bet that he's probably not going to be in the Hall of Fame. Another player, Drew Holiday.
Drew Holiday's definitely going to the Hall of Fame.
Pull up his stats.
Okay. Drew Holiday is a 2-time champ. I'm not sure if he's and again, stats don't just
Drew Holiday is one of the most respected point guards in the NBA. I am not going to take anything away from his defense and the value that he brings to a team. He is the modern day. Their games are different, but it's like a Chauncey Billups.
Chauncey Billups is going to end up in the Hall of Fame.
Probably. But I compare their games to where they're natural leaders.
You want me to read off his accolades?
Yeah, go ahead.
These are just accolades, don't have nothing to do with stats. These are just straight accolades. All right. 2-time NBA champ.
Okay.
2-time All-Star.
Okay.
He was the 2020-2021 Sportsman of the Year. He's a 6-time All-Defensive player.
Okay, so look, he could get there. It's a little questionable. He could get there. And I'm not saying I'm not going to laugh at like I laughed at Derek White.
So who else?
Tyrese Halliburton.
Come on. Okay, you want me to pull up his stats? Because I mean, here's the thing. He just got started. He just got started. Tyrese Halliburton is a superstar.
So this is why I'm pointing these names out, right? They're on the trajectory to make the Hall of Fame, but we've seen this movie before, right?
With who?
Michael Redd. That was on the Redeem team.
Tyrese Halliburton.
Michael Redd was on. He was on the Redeem team.
Was it Redeem team or Dream Team too?
Yep.
Oh, he was with LeBron and all of them and Kobe.
Yep. Carlos Boozer. Carlos Boozer,
Okay.
a Hall of Famer?
No.
What about Deron Williams?
No.
So that's what I'm saying. Those guys at the time of when those teams were assembled,
They were all-stars.
I think Chris Bosh is. A lot of people probably disagree.
Chris Bosh is what?
I think he's a Hall of Famer.
Absolutely. Listen, all right, so let me just tell you, first of all.
But people have argued that Dwight Howard's not a Hall of Famer.
And those people are stupid. I won't even have a discussion with somebody that says Dwight Howard is not a Hall of Famer.
So I guess my point is
he was one of the most dominant big men in the game when he played.
I agree, but I guess my point is we look at these guys and we're just assuming that their career is going to continue to take off. Injuries could derail some of these people's career to where they don't come back and they're not exactly the same.
Okay, so I'm gonna just
If Devin Booker, knock on wood, if something happens and he doesn't come back the same, his body of work right now, if you just left it alone, is not Hall of Fame worthy.
So when we say Hall of Fame worthy, because I think you're tripping.
If Devin Booker doesn't play another down in the NBA, is he a Hall of Fame?
They don't play downs in
Well,
the
not
NBA.
down, but another play, or another game, or however you want to say it.
But so here's the thing. With the Dream Team, right? You could have said that with a bunch of those guys if their career ended at that time.
I don't think so.
Chris Mullin, are you crazy? At that time, Chris Mullin had been in the league probably 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
John Stockton, Karl Malone.
John Stockton had been in the league for 8 years.
Okay.
He's part of the 84 draft, and I think he was most of those guys were Hall of Famers right then and there. The only person I would question is possibly Scottie Pippen.
What?
At the time. At the time. Because they had only won. So at the time when Scottie Pippen was placed on that team, they had only won what?
They won two. Two
they
championships. Just won. They were coming off their second championship. So no, I think they might have just won their first one. They might have 90.
No, they won their second one because 93 was when Barkley got the MVP, and that was with Phoenix and Chicago.
Yeah. So they had just beat Portland in the NBA Finals. He was a 2-time champion, an intricate part of both those championships. And Scottie Pippen at that time, I think he was 5 years in the league at that time.
Yeah, but a lot of people.
He was 6 years in the league, and he was a multi-time All-Star.
I think if you ask most people, other than Christian Laettner, a lot of people at that time didn't necessarily agree with Scottie Pippen being on the Dream Team.
And that may be true. That may be true. People didn't agree with Derek White being on this team, but he fit perfectly into that system and on the team. Now with Tyrese Halliburton, because I ain't gonna just let you just, I know he got like a weird looking shot, but he's averaged double digits every year.
How long has he been in the league? 4 years?
He's been 5. No, wait, 6. No. It's 5. He played for 2 teams in one season.
Yeah.
So he came. His first season was 2020, 2021. All right. So he's been in the league 5 years, 5 seasons, and he's averaged 13, 15, 17, 20, 20. And this year he averaged 20. No, last 2 years he's averaged 20 and 10. The year before that he averaged 17.5 and 9.6.
All right, so let me take a step back, right?
And he's a 2-time All-Star, an assist champion, all-rookie team, all-NBA.
But we've seen that before.
No, not really. Not like that.
We've seen that before.
Who?
Gilbert Arenas.
Gilbert Arenas won't go into the Hall of Fame because of his behavior.
Yeah.
Next person.
John Wall.
John Wall won't go into the Hall of Fame.
But he had very similar numbers.
John Wall should go to the Hall of Fame. He's the one that decided to be out of shape and get hurt consistently. And John, how many years was John Wall in the league? John Wall never made it to no he never even was on a world championship. I mean, a world team, let alone an Olympic team. So how you gonna compare Tyrese Halliburton to John Wall?
What about Steve Francis?
What about Steve? He got hurt.
But you think I'm pretty sure if we pulled, what about Baron Davis?
Compared to who?
To Tyrese Halliburton.
Okay. If you insist. Was Baron Davis on he was a baller. Baron Davis played 12 years. He averaged 16 points, 7 assists. He was a 2-time All-Star, one-time All-NBA, 2-time Steals champion.
But listen to his stats though. Read off his stats.
What you want me to read? I just did.
Go through his rookie to.
I mean, his rookie year he averaged 5.9. So I mean, that's a difference there. Baron Davis came into the league as an injury liability. Let's not forget that. And he had some damn good years. Baron Davis should be a Hall of Famer. Look at his number. Baron Davis should be a Hall of Famer compared to, but he hasn't won it. He never won a championship. He was. I can't remember if he was on the Olympic team or not, but it don't say it here. So I mean, you can compare it. Like there's different eras.
All I'm saying is a lot of guys get forgotten, and it's not to say that they weren't good and they should be forgotten. It's just right now it's too early to tell. Will he be one of those guys that gets forgotten? I mean, because I just rattled off those names, and there's a lot of other people that were like not like say that we've just forgotten that have put up similar stats are not in the Hall of Fame.
Okay, so I give you Derek White.
Okay,
I think everybody else is going to be in the Hall. Like that I can say they're going to be in it. Because here and then let's not.
So you put Drew Holiday in before Baron Davis?
Absolutely. It's not absolutely. He's a 2-time champ. He's won Olympic gold. He was All NBA. Yeah, I mean, why not?
Okay.
And their numbers are similar. Baron Davis was pretty good on defense. Drew Holiday is better.
Okay.
In an era where people don't really play defense like that.
All right. So you mentioned something, and I want to transition because I don't want to lose this. I know we got like gang of football we need to talk about too. Tyreek Hill and Noah Lyles.
All right. Before we get to that, right? I just want to talk about the women's joint real quick.
Okay.
Right? So Gabby Williams was playing for France. She's back with Seattle Storm. She got signed with Seattle, as she should, because she literally almost won that game for them. And here's the thing I'll say about the women, and we won't spend a lot because I can definitely talk about this all day, but people better watch out for the Nigerian women. They got a squad, and unfortunately, they ran up against the United States in the quarterfinals. But if they have Wale, who she may play for them in the next Olympics in LA, you don't have to. You better, because she is a straight killer.
Yeah.
Right. So they better watch out now. Noah Lyles and Tyreek Hill. Here's my thing. Noah Lyles. It is very hard to root for. He's very hard to root. He's from this area. He's from Alexandria. He's very, very, very hard to root for. And now here's the thing. Do I feel like a football player can beat somebody who's a professional track star in a 100-meter dash? Probably not. Right? Probably not. But if there's somebody that I would choose or pick to be up to that challenge, it's Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill, right.
It's Tyreek Hill. And I feel like Tyreek Hill has run the 100. It's not like he's not aware of how to run the 100. He's run 100, if I'm not mistaken. I think he was a national champion in high school. So will Noah Lyles beat Tyreek Hill? Absolutely. But would I be rooting for Tyreek Hill? Absolutely. And I feel.
So are they going to race?
I doubt it. Because here's the thing: Tyreek Hill don't have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Because if Tyreek Hill loses to Noah Lyles, it's just it's a football player losing to a track guy. If Noah Lyles loses to Tyreek Hill, his career is done. He's already 27, right? If he loses to Tyreek, his career is because That's what you do. That's what you do. That's like Noah Lyles playing football, playing corner, and strapping Tyreek Hill. No, if Tyreek Hill destroys Noah Lyles,
Right.
Playing football in one-on-ones or whatever, nobody's gonna say nothing. I'm like, you're supposed to do that. But dog, if Noah Lyles is to strap up Tyreek Hill would be done. I mean, it's a little different, but no, he would be looked at, he would be a laughing stock.
Right.
So I wouldn't say Noah Lyles would be a laughing stock. Well, he would, because so many people would be rooting for him to lose because of his attitude, and it's a terrible attitude. It's one that displays a lot of immaturity. Again, he's hard to root for because of some of the things he says, some of the things he does, disrespecting other athletes and their craft and things like that. And it just comes off as like you think you're better than everybody, and then when you lose, you come up with some sort of excuse, and I feel like that's what happened in the Olympics. I don't think he had COVID. I just don't. I think that was a BS excuse. He knew he wasn't going to win the race and figured I got to come up with something instead of just taking it like a man. And I think that's what happened. So I don't think he had COVID. That's just my personal opinion. People may not agree with me, but I wasn't rooting for him to lose. I wouldn't have minded him, but I knew if he won the 200 and the 100, which he barely won the 100 as we watched, it was a hell of a race. But if he won both of those, he probably would have been unbearable to watch and listen to because he's so, I guess you could call him, he's a cocky, and he's hard to root for. And it's unfortunate because, how often do we have American athletes that we don't want to root for?
Right.
It ain't too often, maybe in team sports, but not in the Olympics. Not in the Olympics. In the Olympics, it's USA. It ain't. But with him, it's tough, man. It's tough. So what's your thoughts?
No, I mean, I see a lot of it. Because I was looking at, I'm trying to think of the guy for the Knicks that came out and spoke today. What is this guy's name? Oh, Josh Hart.
Okay.
And he talked about how he couldn't root for him. I just take it with a grain of salt. I think it's like shock value. I would get into shock value a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You ready for the winner of the week?
Yeah, we ain't had winner of the week in a minute. Hold on. We got
I got a winner.
All right.
Winner today.
Should I be nervous?
Nah,
Okay.
Nah.
Because I had a few winners like the last few weeks, but all right, whatever. Let's go.
No, you're a winner. No, you're a winner. No, you're a winner. No, you're a winner.
Oh boy.
All right. Nah, so look, we had just talked about the dream team and we talked about players of this era. But my winner of the week this week is Mr. Anthony Edwards.
I thought you was about to say Anthony Adebayo.
No. Not on your birthday. Not on your birthday. So let me ask you, did you hear what he said?
About what?
So
You talking about at Fanatics Fest?
I don't know if it was at Fanatics Fest, but he was asked about older players. And he said that he didn't really watch them like that, but from what he could tell, is nobody that Jordan played against had any skill other than Jordan. And that's why people were in awe of Kobe Bryant, because he was the first person to come along after Jordan that had skill. Now everybody in the NBA has skill, so it's a different game. So he's my winner of the week because I can't figure out if he's just that ignorant or he just likes to hear himself talk.
Let me know when this might go.
You go now.
Okay. Anthony Edwards is my guy.
That's your guy.
My guy. And I'll say this. He's not right, but he's not wrong.
Okay.
So Jordan was clearly the most skilled player in the league, right? And there wasn't, and I will say that the competition now in this era is tougher than the competition in Jordan's era. And when I say that, I don't mean that guys weren't good, because there were a lot of good players, but there are definitely, and maybe it could be the rules, but there are definitely more stars, more noticeable guys, more guys with shoe contracts, more guys with TV commercials, more guys with their own brands than they had when Jordan played, right? And think about it. I mean, you had in Jordan's era, you had Bird, you had Magic, right? Those were like Jordan, Magic, Bird were the guys that they were the head of the class. They were like Steph, LeBron, and KD, but there wasn't really a so Carmelo is, and maybe some of these guys are just smarter, right? With their money, they have more access to things, right? They're clearly making more money, but that doesn't mean because of their skill. It's just inflation and just times. You're gonna eventually make more money. I think that like I say, like a Carmelo, right? If Carmelo played in the Jordan era, would he be Carmelo? I personally say yes, because you have somebody of that size that could shoot like that. You didn't really see that in Jordan's era, or KD. You didn't see anybody like a KD. And nobody was shooting. And again, maybe they weren't shooting threes like that, but you still didn't see anybody like a KD in Jordan's era, right? That was as skilled at 7 feet. There's just more stars now than there was back then, and there's more stars on each team than it was back then.
So I hear your point. I'm not going to say that I disagree with it totally, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I get every era advances the game. So
Absolutely.
Right now you're seeing this freaking nature athletes that you didn't see previously.
Correct.
But that doesn't take away from players like Dominique Wilkins,
Mm-hmm.
Clyde Drexler,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Scottie Pippen, Grant Hill, Allen Iverson. All those players played during Jordan's era. Now, it may not have been his early era,
right.
but I mean, you got.
But Allen Iverson and Kobe were at the same time.
We're at the same time, but you can't tell me that Allen Iverson wasn't as dynamic as Kobe. Kobe gets
absolutely. So yeah, that's where he's wrong.
Yeah, so hear me out on this, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was probably the most ignorant shit I've heard in 2024.
It's not, but Elijah said way worse things.
This is pretty ignorant, right? Because because you're a professional basketball player,
mm-hmm.
and you don't know about all the players that came before you.
He does.
To say that Michael Jordan was the only person that had skill is. It's pretty bad, bro.
Yeah, so it's not great, but he worded it wrong, right? And
I'm better hope the hell he doesn't fall off a cliff. He doesn't hope the hell that his career. He better hope.
He's not.
He better hope.
He's not.
He better hope.
He's not. I mean, here's the thing, because he ain't the greatest shooter, but he can shoot, right? So, I didn't see the quote. I didn't see it. I didn't see the interview. But I'm sure there was more to it, and he was probably defending his era. And again, this is where I don't defend like the younger generation disrespecting the older generation, right? Because in order for you to get where you got, somebody had to like take the lumps and take all of these shots or whatever for you. So that's why I agree. You can't disrespect the whole era like that.
Yeah, because Isaiah Thomas, I'm just thinking of
I totally get that, right?
Bird.
But with that being said, there are more stars now than there were back then. It's not even close. It's not even close.
Yeah, the game has transitioned. So it's more stars. And yeah, maybe it's a little bit tougher to get to a championship than it was there. But to say that there
It
wasn't
depends
that,
on who you play for, because only if you think about it from 80 to 89, the Lakers were in how many championships? Like all of them, damn near, except for like two. They were like so 8 out of 10 years the Lakers went to the championship.
yeah, so I get all that. But to say that players didn't have skill other than Michael Jordan,
No,
that's a bit extreme.
I'm with you on that. I agree. And so yes, he sounds foolish to say that. That's why I want to hear the whole clip, because if you know, regardless, you can't say that. I get that part. I totally agree.
I like the brother, but once I heard the clip, I still like him, but I gotta call him to the carpet. That was some dumb shit to say.
I hear you, but I feel like Noah Lyles is done the worst.
And that's what made me transition to Anthony Edwards. Thinking about Noah Lyles, I was like, you know what? I gotta talk about Anthony Edwards.
He made a mistake.
Well, we'll see if he owns it.
He said, you gotta think about it. He's what? 20, he was born after we graduated.
So he did say that he hadn't seen nobody from earlier eras, which makes it even dumber, because if you haven't even watched them, how do you know if they had skill or not? And that's what makes this even more. That's what makes this.
You have a point. I also feel like that he has to do his research. You can't say, but that here's the thing. People say Jordan played against milkmen and mailmen
and plumbers.
Yeah. So you hear that all the time. So it's just like all these people, and I don't want to bring politics in, right? It's just like all these people believing that Kamala Harris locked up a million people for weed, right? That's what they think, when it wasn't even like that. And you got those same people that don't do their research, that says Trump is the reason why they got those stimulus checks in 2020, when he didn't even want to do it, right? But you just have to do your own research, right? And in this case right here, Anthony Edwards has to do his own research.
Right.
Here's the thing. The good thing about it is he got guys like LeBron, KD, that he could just call him phone and a group chat. They probably roasting him in a group chat, right? Like, yo, it was some ballers, and he'll get it. He's in the NBA. Like, so all those old guys, some of them that don't have access, that can't get access to Anthony Edwards, there's just as many that can get access to him and say, yo, we had these guys.
And he's about to get an education like no other.
So, but
I'm pretty sure right now everybody.
The problem is, what I hope doesn't happen is that there's gonna be people, or there's gonna be old NBA players that, instead of talking to them and making and correcting them and things like that, they're gonna go on social media and try and bash them and whether they try and defend themselves, instead of just
No, they already have. They've already started. And I mean, he deserves it. He's got to stand in that. Man, you say something like that, you got to stand in it. Now, eventually, I think maybe he'll come around. But the bigger thing and the bigger question is, like, really hasn't done anything to even say that yet.
Yeah, no. I get that, right? I think
so. It's a lot of old champions going after him, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll have to get his championship. A lot of people talked about him getting tired of the playoffs, and like, yo, you say he's going to be the first option on the USA team, but that didn't pan out. So it's a lot of people going at him, bro. And he'll persevere. He'll figure it out.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this: still my guy. I think he's he's a baller, and he's an Olympic champion, and soon to be face of the NBA. So they gonna have to get over it. It is what it is, and who cares? You know what I mean? Yeah. Deal with it. It ain't nothing. They ain't gonna be able to say. They ain't gonna be able to say nothing when when he winning MVPs and championships in Minnesota. Maybe. So we'll see.
We'll see.
But so NFL preseason is getting ready to wrap up, and I don't necessarily want to talk about any games or whatever like that, but I feel like we have the season preview show coming up in about a week or so, and there's some teams that look really bad. There's some teams that look really good. There's some rookies. Now these rookie quarterbacks, I know everybody likes to talk about the quarterbacks. Well, JJ McCarthy
Out for the year.
oh, what?
But he was looking good
He was
before.
looking good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you got Bo Nix, which I know a lot of people wanna they weren't believing in Bo Nix. Well, he's starting.
Yeah.
He's starting. Caleb Williams is starting, of course.
He's looked good.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels is starting. I don't know what they're doing in New England. I don't know if they named the starter yet.
Not yet.
So I mean, but Bo Nix looked the best out of all of them. Well, Caleb Williams looked damn good too. So I don't know. But I do want to, I know I normally don't do this, but I do want to bring up the Cowboys. I don't, I don't bring up the Cowboys. But I want to say this. Because I ain't gonna say that I'm putting my fandom on hold, because it's not on hold, right? Not yet. But we inching toward that line. And because here's the thing. I read something about Troy Aikman around the time when he retired, right? He wanted to go to another team. But I think he had been beat up a lot towards the end of his career, and nobody really wanted to sign him. So he retired. But it was like he didn't want to play for Dallas anymore because of all the extra stuff. And I'm like, that was when did Troy Aikman retired? 2000?
That had to be 2000, 2001.
Yeah. So I'm like, so it's like, it's been the same thing. It's been the same thing with everybody. I feel like with what's going on with CeeDee Lamb, it's just stupid. It's like exhausting because, dude, we know how much he should be getting paid. He has the numbers that back him up. It's nothing. You can't say we want to wait and see because we've seen everything. He's been here for however many years, and he's produced every single year. And like now you already know, like, but I'm telling you, they're gonna fold. He's gonna be signed before the first game. I don't know if Dak's gonna be signed before the first game, but I wouldn't be surprised if Dak is signed before the first game.
It has to be. Yeah, man.
But yeah, so I just feel like it's just exhausting, and it's like just sign them. But the other team I wanted to talk about was the 49ers, and I tell you what, you may not want to hear this, but I think the Jets come to you guys week 1.
Yeah,
and I'm halfway certain that Ayuk's deal is probably going to get done. But I don't care about Ayuk. It's that Trent Williams deal. And I tell you what, if y'all already, and I told you this last year, I think y'all line is suspect. I do not respect your line. I think Trent Williams is he evens out the other 4 guys.
Right.
And if he doesn't play against the Jets, I don't even know if they're gonna have Hassan Reddick, but they're gonna have all the other guys. And if Trent Williams does not play, and Ayuk don't play, dog, y'all not winning that game.
Now,
And not to mention, I'm not trying. Listen, I ain't trying to scare you, but
I'm not scared.
But Christian McCaffrey is not 100%. So you don't have Mike Williams. You may not have Ayuk, and 85% Christian McCaffrey or 80% Christian McCaffrey.
We'll be okay.
I don't know, dog.
We'll be all right.
I don't know. So you think the deals are going to get done, or you don't care?
It won't matter. Well, I think we'll figure out how to.
It won't matter.
We'll figure out how to get Trent Williams done. We'll figure out how to get that deal done.
You said it won't matter?
Yeah, I mean, if we don't
If
have
Trent Williams doesn't play,
we've played without Trent Williams,
and you lost. What are you talking about?
No, I said I think we'll get the Trent Williams deal done. I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it, man. We don't panic.
You a
you know-
goddamn lie. You are a lie. Now you're just gonna lie. Yeah, like,
No,
you don't panic.
We don't have to panic. We do not have to panic.
So if you don't have Trent Williams and you don't have Brandon Ayuk,
We'll be okay. Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch will figure it out. Trust me. They always do.
do they?
They do.
You sure?
I'm positive.
I know they don't. You're not gonna sit here on our broadcast and like, no, they don't.
They always
No,
figure
they
it out.
don't. No,
always
they
figure it
don't.
out.
Because if they always figured it out, Trey Lance would be your quarterback right now.
But
They
they
got lucky with Brock Purdy. They wasn't thinking Brock Purdy was going to be the guy. They got lucky. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. We're not going to say like, oh, they already know because they know who to pick.
Hey, they drafted him. They drafted him.
Yeah, they drafted him with a throwaway pick. What are you talking about?
It doesn't matter.
It wasn't even y'all pick. Y'all got to be a trade.
It doesn't matter.
We're not gonna sit here and act like, oh yeah, they just know everything that they're doing. They don't miss. They don't miss.
Hey, they might miss.
No, they do miss. They miss a lot.
Nah. At the end of the day, we always figure out how to be relevant, and they'll figure it out. I'm not concerned with them.
You're definitely concerned, and you can sit here and
want me to be concerned.
No. I mean, I want you to be a realist. You're not being a realist.
I am being a realist. How you going to tell me how?
You know what?
You asked me a question.
Okay.
You stated what you stated,
Mm-hmm.
and I told you I have faith in my front office that we'll figure it out.
So let me ask you because maybe I think we're talking about two separate things. If they don't get the Trent Williams deal done,
they have to get that done. They'll figure out how to get that.
No. See, now you're trying to twist and turn and everything.
They'll get it done.
What if? So if they don't, and he does not, and he holds out, and he does not play week 1, you think y'all beating the Jets?
Yes.
I'm asking you another question. Without Brandon Ayuk, without Trent Williams, you think y'all beating the Jets?
Yes. I'll tell you why. Yeah, pal.
Wait.
Yeah.
So no, because this panel means bet.
We can bet.
So
listen. Let me finish, right?
Okay.
If John Lynch does not get those 2 deals done, he'll have a backup plan. We'll be fine.
So y'all just got another left tackle just in the back?
He probably does.
Trust me, no, they don't.
If he doesn't get those deals done,
No, hold on. Listen. There's a left tackle on the roster. He ain't the backup plan.
Let me say, if John Lynch isn't paying him, he's got faith in that tackle, and I do too. I don't know who it is, but I'm riding with my guys.
Hey, listen, Scott, have you watched our preseason games?
No, I've just seen that.
Good. Listen, good. And because you know what? You know who didn't look good? Goddamn O-line. You know who else ain't been looking good either? Damn quarterback.
It's preseason. Everybody's got to relax. Aaron Rodgers' words. You just have to relax and trust the process.
Well, the season starts in like 2 weeks.
It starts in 2 weeks, and we'll be fine.
So, well, are we saying that if the 49ers don't, so we're gonna bet only if Ayuk and what you call it don't play, right?
Correct.
Because y'all gonna lose.
We'll go with.
Listen, here's the thing. I don't know I don't know how the Jets offense is gonna look.
Not worried.
I can tell you what does look good with the Jets. The goddamn defense.
Yeah.
And you know that D line that they have there with McDonald and Reddick and Quentin Williams. You will not be fine. You will not. Listen, even if you have Trent Williams, you're probably not gonna be.
We'll be okay. So look, we'll just bet on the Jets and Niners week 1. I got my Niners.
All right. Okay. And you're gonna force me to buy a Jets hat. I'm gonna wear a Jets hat that week. Yeah.
All right, man. You gotta get to your battle because I'm sick of this shit. On your birthday.
All right, man.
Jets green shirt.
Yo, it's Wakefield green. It's Wakefield green. But yeah, all right, man. So let's get up out of here. All right. Anything else, man?
Nah, man. Shoot.
He know they go lose. That's why he ain't got nothing else. All right. But I guess we done. We done. Is episode 301. It was dope. This is Off the Record. I'm Anthony Adebayo.
Boy, Scotty B.
We out of here.
Anthony Adebayo.
With you there, but if you're a coach, do you take that chance?
Yes.
You can reach us at the Off the Record Show at gmail.com. Anthony Adebayo, and the most accurate sports coverage. Scotty B's Fantasy 5.
We're different from any other sports.
His sophomore year. Comes back and says, you know what?
And your boy, Scotty B.